Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Intermediate, in the current conditions. Take it easy to start with, the track's very wet. And we've been pushed down to P20.
I don't think that the Clerks had a very good lap, so he might actually be knocked out here. Yeah, the Clerk's knocked out in Q1. And so is Carlos Sainz. We're through, which is the main thing. P8. Getting used to the conditions. But it's enough to get us through. So then, both Williams are through. Sonoda's actually out-qualified. Zhou is into Q2 for the 3rd time this season now. And yeah, Sainz, who's a championship contender, along with Leclerc, who isn't so much this season, but he has been in previous seasons, are both knocked out in Q1. So very interesting. Both Alpines are through. Sonoda's finally out-qualified Leclerc. He's struggled to do the whole time he's been at Ferrari, which is the 2nd season now for him. I think it's going to get drier as the sessions goes on though. So we'll fast forward towards the end again. Lap times are looking quicker. Track is still officially declared wet though. Let's see what it's like. Everyone's going out on inters. Dries are apparently quicker though. So we did this in China and it worked out for us. We were the last ones out on track. We're going to do the same thing again to get the best of the track. And hopefully DRS will be enabled.
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
As this could be our pass through into Q3. Running these soft tyres, but it could also knock us out. But we weren't exactly too strong in Q1 on the intermediates. Only 8th quickest. That's 3 positions off being knocked out in this session if we get P8 again. So, but it would be a through. But with these softs, it would ensure that we definitely get through. It's a bit slippy as we come out pits though. I'm going to take it nice and easy. It's still very slidey. Hopefully the track can dry out a little bit by the time we get around. Very slippery. I think we might have made a mistake
that's
here.
us pushed down into P15.
But it did say that obviously the dries are 3.4 quicker, so at the end of the day, this is the game's inconsistency as much as it is our fault. But anyway, we're out here now, so we're going to have to go for it. We'll have to try our best on these tyres. No DRS yet. And it's, you know what, I don't think that we're getting through here. It's very slidey. As we're in the wall, that's definitely it for us.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Well, we took the risk. And with Gasly going quickest in a Williams, I'm sure that we would have been knocked out anyway, but we're going to carry on and finish the lap. But P15 is definitely where we're going to be qualifying for this race. Sometimes you take these risks and they pay off, and sometimes they don't. And we tried to do what we did in China, but yeah, this time it's really not worked for us.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that time. It's a 1 minute 20. 1 minute 21. Yeah. Bit disappointing, but that's the ups and downs of Formula 1, I guess. So actually, even though he set the quickest lap time to start with, Gasly gets knocked out along with Ocon, Pourchaire and Zhou. Yeah, we'll focus away from that lap time because that is absolutely horrendous. So we get to see the grid for this race. It should be fully dry all the way through, so no tyre mishaps, I hope.
Montreal is not only the second largest French-speaking city in the world, but it's home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. The name Villeneuve looms large over this one, but who can write their own legends today? With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Russell, Ricciardo, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly, Ocon, Théo Pourchaire, Zhou, Edwards, Hülkenberg, Stroll, Leclerc, Behrman, and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
It is true, they had a really tough day in the office last time out, but they cannot dwell on that. It's so important to turn the page and start on a blank slate, because the more you dwell on that, the less it's going to push you in the right direction. So take some notes. Obviously, there's things to be learned, but move on.
So then, Alonso takes pole over Hamilton. Perez is actually up there for the first time in ages. He's in P3 ahead of Verstappen, which you don't see too often nowadays. Casual one, stop medium to hards. We're going to overfuel by 1.8 laps just to be safe. And yeah, not really a lot else to talk about. They've got Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc trying to come through from the back as well, near us, so we'll have those to battle with for sure throughout this race. And yeah, let's get into it. It's an okay start from us, not the best though, as we already try and nearly get overtook by Hulkenberg. Going into turn 1 then, all clean. We're going to find a way around the outside of 2 cars there. As we get through on Porsche, we're still alongside Joe, but we just about get ahead as there's nearly contact between myself and Ocon due to a battle up ahead. But we keep our car undamaged as there's a lock-up filling our face with smoke. As we look to push on now in this race, we've settled in Joe actually with that upgraded Sauber, really quick and straight line I must say, and looks for a false move towards the end of that straight. He's going to go for it in the hairpin, but so are we on Esteban Ocon from ages back, but the Constantina effect taking its toll on Ocon.
Right, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
As now we get in the slipstream, as we didn't quite pull that move off. We've got our ERS enabled. Going to go down the inside at the hairpin, brake later, and let the corner carry us through up into P12. We're only 2 places off.
This lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We're only 2 places off the points, so it's not a bad start. It could be worse. But next we've got the quick Williams of Gasly, who actually surprisingly found himself knocked out of Q2 despite setting the fastest lap towards the end of it. But people just managed to go quicker.
Now that you're in the wake of the car ahead, try to get past as soon as possible.
Just trying to save our ERS there. Not really an overtaking opportunity at the end of that DRS straight, so save it for where there is an overtaking opportunity. Tsunoda looks to be pressing on to Alex Albon, who's in P9. But here we go then. Down the back straight we go. Gasly's also got that DRS, but he's flashing because he's saving his ERS. He goes right to the inside. We're going to go on the racing line around the outside, inside for next corner.
Brilliant, nice move, keep going.
And we're off into P11. Next up is Yuki Tsunoda. We've lost a bit of time though because of trying to get through on Gasly and taking us the longer way around. But we're already back within a second almost on Yuki Tsunoda.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good.
We just about get the DRS there, so that's helpful for us as we get to keep up with Yuki. Albon is going to be under threat from Tsunoda down this straight, as Albon definitely doesn't have the DRS. He's way too far back from the McLarens. So here goes Tsunoda maybe. Or can that Williams out drag it down the straight? Tsunoda's going to pull to the outside. They're going to... Oh wow, I thought they were going side by side through there, but Albon backs out. Tsunoda's up to 9th. Albon down to 10th. So we've got another Williams now in front of us that we've got to try and clear.
No overtaking.
As there's a safety car for an incident. I didn't see anything up ahead, so maybe behind. Let's have a look then. Oh, in the background it's Behrman and Carlos Sainz, who are both having a little battle. Behrman just goes straight on there. He locks up, comes back on, and Carlos Sainz loses his front wing there. And the safety car deployed for the debris out on track. So it's our first full safety car of the season, because of an incident at the final corner. Sainz is going to have to do another lap, obviously, because it happened at the final corner, before he can get that front wing changed. But this does play into the strategy a little bit. I don't know if we can do anything with this. Try and gain an advantage maybe on fresher mediums, or just stay out. But either way, we're going to be closer to the pack. But both Aston Martins, when that safety car got called out, they were both scrapping for the lead. I'm not sure which one got out ahead. It's a good job this safety car has come out, because we've lost quite a bit of fuel to what we fueled up with. As people are coming into the pits, we've not been offered a new strategy. So everyone's in here for the hard tyres, and it was in fact Hamilton who came out ahead. We've stayed out, we're the only ones to stay out. So I don't know, maybe we've been a bit screwed over here, as we haven't been offered a strategy whatsoever.
Approaching the safety car, you're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
So we're on old tyres here. This safety car is going to help us keep them fresher. Maybe we could use this to our advantage. Maybe stay out, hope for another safety car, go softs at the end if there isn't. But either way, we've got...
The car behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres.
everyone behind us on new tyres compared to us who's had 5 laps on them. It's definitely been shook up a little bit because teams have had to double stack, so there's no longer 2 cars running together. Alonso has dropped outside of the top 10 because of having to double stack with Hamilton. Let's see where exactly he is. So yeah, we've got Hulkenberg who's actually in the top 10 here. Alonso's P14 because of the double stack. Behrman still comes out in last despite Sainz having to change his front wing, so he had to serve a 10-second penalty for that collision. So not ideal for the young Brit, the rookie, this season. He had a 5-second pit stop too, so 15 seconds in the pit box altogether he's spent. So after China, as I said in last stream, it's definitely all kicked off in this career mode now. A lot is happening, and a lot happened in China too over the sprint and the normal race. If you did miss that one, then make sure you go and watch it. It would be the last thing on my channel, because I haven't really uploaded, as Tish Tosh is on holiday on a cruise, so lucky him. But anyway, going forward in this race, we've not exactly put too much wear into these tyres, so if we can keep it that way, we could actually come back at everyone towards the end if we go onto the soft tyres. If there's another safety car, then that will help out massively as well. But it's kind of been hit and miss whether there's been a safety car in a race, down to certain things, because there's only been VSCs for like, engine failures and stuff, so I don't know. A VSC would help too, but it's such a short pit lane at Canada because it skips out turn 1 and you get a better line for turn 2 as well.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You will be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety cars reach the pit lane.
So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be our first safety car restart in this whole career mode that we're controlling, because I don't think that we've ever had a safety car throughout Season 1, Season 2, it's always been red flags or VSCs, so it's our first restart that we're controlling. I'm going to try and warm up these tyres as they didn't really get the best warming up. We're not going to go just yet though, we're going to sit back, wait until the last second, try and catch them napping. We're going to go now, and we did catch Hamilton napping there. As we go towards turn 1 now, our tyres are nicely warmed up from that weaving that we were doing, and now it's time to push on to try and get away from any sort of battle on the track, because we can't be held up in that or in the wall. So yeah, let's push on. But I'm quite surprised that the AI actually did come in as early as what they did, even though it was a safety car. They usually don't go for the strategic option when a safety car comes out. They usually stay out if it's only 4 laps into a race like it was. So I'm not really used to that, but hey ho, it adds an element of surprise, I guess, into this. But Hamilton, he's managed to stay with us. Perez has dropped back quite a significant amount here. We might be under pressure from Hamilton, he might be under pressure from Ricciardo. So go through the final corners now. We still lead on the restart lap, so this is good news.
DRS is now online.
But the bad news is that what Mark has just told me, DRS is enabled now, so that means that Hamilton's going to have that extra boost in a straight line to get past us, and he was quite close towards the end of that lap, so I'm expecting an overtake or a little battle. But if he does overtake us, we can't fight it too much. We don't want to lose time. With the gap that Perez has, we can't afford to lose that.
Green flag.
There's a yellow flag behind once again. It's an engine failure for someone because it's carried on into the next section of the track. We'll find out who that...
Information on Albon for you. Okay, they're out of this race.
Okay, so Albon, who was running in the top 10 quite comfortably, qualified in the top 10 too, is now out of this Canadian Grand Prix. First retirement, no VSC for that though, but it's definitely spread out the pack a little bit as they've probably been caught up behind his car, but we lead once again across the line onto lap 9 out of 35. We're pushing as hard as what we can, but we've got to try and take not that much out of the tyres if we want to make that stop onto the soft tyres towards the end. It will be a struggle, but yeah, I'm hoping we can stretch out to a safety car more than anything. We're doing quite a good job to stay ahead.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
As Albon's car is quite out of the way there. I didn't really see it as we went past, but I saw it on the mini-map, so I'm assuming that it's behind the barrier. As the yellow flags have disappeared now, here comes Hamilton with the DRS and the slipstream, probably using ERS too. He's going to go past, we're not going to fight it. As I said, we can't afford to lose that gap to Perez. We're just going to try and stay with Hamilton, let those battle behind.
Really good job with that target, mate. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.5 seconds.
As we're nearly pushing Hamilton through that corner there, but Perez, yeah, he's getting held up in that battle between himself and Ricciardo, and a few other drivers trying to get involved in that too. So we've just got to focus on our own race, not battle Hamilton too much. If we have the overspeed and we know we can get through, then we'll go for it. If not, then we just stay behind in the DRS and gain away from Sergio Perez and the rest of the field. even when we do pit, we'll have fresher tyres than everyone else, even if it is for the hards. So yeah, I think we're in quite a good position here. We're just doing everything we can to try and stay with Hamilton now, using our ERS, the slipstream, the DRS. Of course, the man that we was battling last time out in China for the race victory. But this time it's a strategy battle by the look of it.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
As this DRS tactic is really helping. We're now 3 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez in P3. Every little advantage that we can get could decide between a few positions because of the short pit lane that we're going to have to go through when we do decide to come in for a stop. So not only is it helping us against Perez, it's helping us against the rest of the field as well. We get a purple sector 3 there. They're not really battling behind too much, I don't think. Ricciardo's just putting a lot of pressure on Perez, and he might be making defensive moves when there's no need to be fair, for Perez. So that's probably what's slowing him down as well. Say we're on older tyres, so we are doing quite well to stay with Hamilton in that Aston Martin as well, which is very quick.
Behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done.
Yeah, we are definitely doing our job in the best way that we can. We could turn this from a screwing over by Mercedes into an absolute masterclass here with the strategy, but all weekend long in qualifying, they've got the tyres wrong completely. You know, in Q2 when we were knocked out, saying that the soft tyres were quicker, than saying that the inters were actually quicker in the end because we didn't get through. So, and now this, they didn't offer us a new strategy when the safety car come out, but everyone else came in. Alonso, meanwhile, is still stuck behind the Sauber and another car, mid-pack. So it's not really his race today, even though he started on pole. Hamilton must have picked him off the line, and yeah.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
So then we'll have a look at our tyre wear as soon as we get the opportunity to, which will be down the back straight. Since our pit window is coming up. So they're not that bad. I reckon we could carry on. As soon as we start losing time, that's it, we'll pull into the pits. But while we're gaining time, we need to stay out basically.
slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep up this momentum.
Sorry, I'm just going to shut my window because it's blown my curtains. And that's the noise that you can hear, probably. We're now 4.2 ahead of Perez. I reckon that Ricciardo's gone for a move though, since Ricciardo's so close to him. They've got to be careful of our teammate Russell, who's in P5, a nice position there, as we almost do what Russell did in 2022, or 23 was it? I can't remember. I think it was 2023. But anyway, we're out of a second of Hamilton, but we have got the DRS. We did make a little mistake, of course. But yeah, we'll be back with him in no time with this pace. Sorry about that.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
So they want us to pit. Ricciardo and Perez are going side by side though. This will be a stupid time to pit now, since we can gain even more time away from them. So we're going to stay out. We've still got the pace. We've still got Hamilton towing us away basically.
We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
I reckon if we make it to lap 25 on these tyres, which is still another 10 laps, we can probably take this off to the end. That's of course if we don't lose touch of Hamilton, and if Perez or Ricciardo start gaining.
5.6 seconds.
We are starting to lose a bit of time to Hamilton. We're not as close through corners as what we have been.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
still we are gaining away from Perez, despite losing time to Hamilton in front. I'm feeling a bit slower. But yeah, I reckon if we get to lap 25, at the end of that lap, we'll pit him for the softs. And yeah, we'll charge to the end, wherever we come out. So apparently we're coming out in 19th if we pit now. I reckon we could change that, if we carry on. As Ricciardo and Perez, I'm pretty sure, are battling behind. Or there will be towards turn 1 and 2. No, Ricciardo stays behind again. So it's a bit stalemate behind us, unfortunately.
Okay, mate, it's Hamilton ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
So he wants us to overtake before lap 24. Lap 25 I was planning on coming in, so it's not like we can get rid of the objective by pitting in. Our tyre wear is getting quite high now, but we still feel fine. So we're on lap 20 now, 5 laps until our pit window. Same, we join in P16 if we pit now, so it is helping. This strategy is helping us of staying behind Hamilton. It's changing between 15th and 16th now, so there's proof that it is working. We will have less work to do than if we'd have pitted earlier on, really, when it said P19 that we'd rejoin. Ideally, I don't think that we're going to get past Hamilton without it being a battle, because we're going to lose time if we do battle. So that's not what I want. That's like the last thing that I want from this, since we've been doing so well staying behind him. It's not been overcooking the tyres too much. Of course, because it's such a short racetrack, these laps flying by like crazy, and realistically, if you think about it, we'll have less time on the soft tyres than at a track like Spa, let's say. We're going to try and get this objective completed now, even if it is just slightly getting ahead of him and then backing off.
Nice work, you smashed it.
Like that.
Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
So we kind of cheated the objective there, but it doesn't matter because this benefits us. Being ahead would not benefit us whatsoever. So it's now saying P14 will rejoin if we come out. If we come into the pit, sorry. And of course with another 3 laps until our pit window. Yeah, we could still gain a lot more time and position. Of course, we got new soft tyres as we only used one set in qualifying due to the wet weather and being knocked out in Q2. But of course Alonso's all the way down there, so we'll come out around him. Ricciardo's finally going for the move on Perez. This is going to help us because that'll back them into Russell, and then Russell will get backed up into the rest of the pack, which will mean the pack is closer. We're on fresher rubber than those, so we'll be able to get through them a bit quicker. The only person that we probably won't be able to overtake is Hamilton. Hamilton will definitely win this one. I can't see us catching up that much, even though we will be on the softs.
Don't forget, box this lap.
No, I'm not boxing this lap. 2 laps time, mate, and you'll see me in. But Ricciardo, once again, has to stay behind Perez. Can't get any moves done, as our rejoin position prediction still says 13th. The tyres seem to be coming back to us here a little bit. Starting to feel a lot more grip, so maybe they've gone through that the graining stage, and it's opened up a new life to the tyre basically. Still saying we'll rejoin P13, so maybe the gap to like the next position is quite a lot. I'm sure we can gain that. So this is our pit lap then.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
We're going to confirm that with Mark. And we'll have 10 laps.
Behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done.
10 laps on these soft tyres to try and gain back up to a high position. Remember, we started P15, so any points I'll be quite happy with, especially with such a messed up strategy that we've been given since the safety car, really. So it's full push on the in lap now. As Ricciardo and Russell are battling now, Perez has managed to get away. Still saying that we'll rejoin in P13. As we overtake Hamilton before we come in. That is not a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I am sorry, it is not 10 seconds, surely. Sorry, that's my dog. There we go. Slowed it down in time. Now it's time to try and pull off this pit stop. Pull off the strategy. It's a nice turn in.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
As now we get released into the pit lane. Remember, we skip out turn 1 and get a better line for turn 2.
No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
And we've actually came out in P8 here. So a lot better than what the prediction was saying. We're ahead of Alonso, we're ahead of Tsunoda, which are 2 really quick cars, but we've got so much more grip that it feels unreal, to be fair. And we could even go for a fastest lap point as well, so as of course no one else has used the soft tyres.
So, you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors. I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems.
So then, it's time to push on well and truly to try and at least gain back second place. We're in a second of Norris, but we've not got the DRS, so we're just going to go into hot lap mode, gain what we can through the corners and down the straights. As we're really attacking the corners here, doing what we couldn't do in qualifying.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good.
As we look up the inside, it's a traction race out of turn 2, and we're back up into P7 now. Next is the other McLaren of Piastri. As we get purple sector 1 there, despite having no DRS. So that just shows how quick we are on normal pace. Purple sector 2 as well, really flying around this track. No DRS once again, just a slipstream in the ERS. And once again it's a traction race, there's a battle up ahead, which is going to help us gain. We get the fastest lap of 108.9. Bit of contact between myself and Piastri though. And it's Ricciardo and no, it's Perez and Russell, sorry. So Ricciardo's managed to get through on Perez at some point, and we don't know when, because we were so far back and in the pit lane. And we're right on the back of this battle now.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Well, Perez goes defensive, he's got the overall straight line speed, but we've got the outside line, and we're up into P5, past Sergio Perez. So Max Verstappen, sorry. I had Perez in mind. Verstappen hasn't really been mentioned all race, so once again a traction race out of the corner on our teammate George Russell now. We've got less ERS though than him. We've got the DRS and the slipstream. He's not going to go for a move on Perez. This is kind of where it becomes a little bit stalemate, as we've got the same car. We're not going to send one because that is our teammate. We're going to look around the outside though and try and get better traction off the corner, which we do. Foot flat to the floor and up into P4. Next is Sergio Perez, actually this time. As we save going into the corners.
George is in the car behind you. They are faster than you. Do you understand? They are faster than you. Let them through, please, mate.
Well, they're genuinely not. I'm going to send one on Sergio Perez.
Mate, your teammates drop back a bit, so you can just forget about them and focus on your own race now. Get your head down. Let's go.
Next up is Ricciardo then. To get ourselves back up into P2. And we will push on to try and get Hamilton, but I highly doubt it'll happen, as now off the corner we get the better exit than Daniel Ricciardo. Up the inside of turn 1. And we're back up into P2, but with the fastest lap this time. That is the difference between the tyre compounds. As now we've got 6 laps left to try and catch 9.5 seconds to Lewis and overtake him. But I'll be happy with a P2 from P15. As the battle continues behind now, as Tsunoda is out of the session. Let's have a look what that is because of. I think it's an engine failure, it would be. Yeah, a mechanical problem with his car. He retires at the end of Sector 1 and yeah, disaster for Ferrari this race. But it seems Hulkenberg and Ocon are rounding out the points there. Alonso's in P11. But yeah, the Ferrari of Leclerc is even in P19, so Ferrari really having a bad day at the office there. Let's see why. I don't know why he's actually there, so yeah, just an odd day for Ferrari, like in real life. We're going to keep pushing on now in hot lap mode to try and get Lewis. There's Perez and Ricciardo once again going to battle through turn 1 and turn 2. Perez seems to have won out that battle.
Caution! Okay, clear.
Because that yellow flag kind of scared me a little bit. I thought it was Hamilton. I forgot that Tsunoda's car would have still been there. But thank God they didn't call out the VSC, because that would give us less time to catch Hamilton. It wouldn't have brought us all together, to be fair, so I'm glad that that wasn't a VSC. 7.9 then is the gap. Now 8 seconds, as that straight line speed of the Aston is superior. You can see him just going through turn 2 there.
Okay, so we're
ahead.
leading our teammate by 3.7 seconds.
As we touch the grass there and have to go across the corner, that's definitely not going to help our case in catching Hamilton. It's probably just cost us the win, to be fair, or even a chance at it. So we'll carry on pushing nonetheless. We're not giving up now. Anything could still happen. It's very rare that you'd get a mistake from a 7-time world champion. It's 3 laps to go left in this one now.
The pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to get Hamilton, but as I said, I'm happy with a podium, or even just 1 place off the win after such a bad qualifying and what seemed was going to be a bad race when that safety car come out, and we weren't offered that strategy that everyone else were. You know, it's definitely turned this race upside down. Coming up with a last minute strategy from ourselves, and it's good to see that it's worked out. Just need to get it to the end. But yeah, the tyre wear on these softs already quite significant. We're already nearly up to where we were on the medium tyres after 25 laps, so the tyre wear for these softs is absolutely horrendous. Still feels quite grippy though, I must say, compared to how the mediums felt. As we now go on to the final lap of this race.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
As I said, it's quite a good result from P15. Just shows what a safety car can do. It can mess up races, or you can actually find something that will save your race. And in this case, we've found something that saves our race, and it's rewarded us with a podium and with an extra point for fastest lap at the moment. So we're heading to the final sector then. Hamilton just coming out the hairpin, 5.3 ahead of us. We've done quite well to get the gap down that much. It's just been kind of filtering out around the same by the end of each lap. So anyways, Hamilton, for his probably 4th win of the season, comes across the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix. We come home in 2nd place from 15th. What a race.
Top job, mate. Top job. Yes. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but man, you pulled through. Thank you. Well done.
And as we've said so many times in the past, the checkered flag is out for our winner, Lewis Hamilton.
There's still a long way to go, but these kinds of victories and that kind of consistency is what it takes to get to the end.
The Aston Martin team will be very happy with today's performance. And of course, the final result. Another display of excellent driving and excellent teamwork. And a well-deserved first place finish. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
So then, there you have it. As I said, Hamilton wins that amazing Canadian Grand Prix. Then ourselves in 2nd place. Perez completes the podium for the first time in a while, actually. Ricciardo didn't manage to obviously get that podium. He finishes in P4. Our teammate Russell P5, so nice points for the team. Verstappen in P6, then it's Lando Norris in P7 along with his teammate P8. They both stayed where they were. Hulkenberg gets the first points for Haas this season. He does a stellar job coming from P16 to P9 in that car, and Ocon rounds out the top 10. Alonso then. We kind of saw this last season actually, when we started beating him week in, week out. Currently, like Hamilton's doing, he falls off massively. And I know that he's got the pit stop to blame for that and having to double stack behind his teammate and probably being held up. But 31.5 seconds off the pace, struggling to get past an Alpine. He struggled to get past the Sauber of Zhou Guanyu. And yeah, it's just not an ideal result when he's meant to be a title contender. Hamilton being on the podium in every race so far, and the one sprint that we've had as well. So yeah, bad day for Alonso. Sainz made his way up from P20 to P12. He's done the best that he could probably do. Then it's Zhou in 13th. He's been doing quite well this season. Step back up once again. Then it's Gasly in P14, then Pourchaire in P15, Stroll P16, Leclerc managed P17, so he only went up one position from his grid. Then Behrman rounded off the results, and the two DNFs that we had started alongside each other on the grid. They're both non-finishers and classified 10 places down from where they both started. So let's look at the championship then. We've now moved into second place off the back of our win in China and our second place here. We're now 3 points ahead of Verstappen, 48 behind Hamilton, who is, yeah, that's a massive gap to have at the start of the season. Then it's Alonso on 59 points, 58 away from his teammate. Then it's Leclerc in P5, Norris in P6, just 1 point ahead of Ricciardo, who's 1 point ahead of Perez and Sainz. Then our teammate Russell, who's making his way up the championship, rounds out the top 10 on 30 points. Then Piastri in P11 on 12 points, Gasly on 4, Ocon gets his 3rd point of the season from this round, and Hulkenberg scores the first 2 points for Haas. Albon scores is on 2, sorry, and Tsunoda is on 1, and the non-scorers is Zhou, Pourchaire, Stroll and Behrman. The constructors then, Aston Martin still lead by around 75 points over Red Bull. That gap is increasing, but only by a few points per weekend. We're only 2 points behind Red Bull now, so we're gaining more than anything. Then it's VCarb in P4, McLaren in P5, Ferrari 10 points behind them in P6. Then it's Williams on 7 points, Alpine on 3, Haas on 2, and Sauber once again the only constructor to not score in a season so far. So yeah, what a weekend, what a race. The grid is all like fumbled around when you get down to like this end of it, but in the top 10 you've got 4 drivers who stayed in the same position or around the same position. So yeah, hopefully next race, which I'm pretty sure is Austria, should be exciting because it usually is, and hopefully it's not a repeat of last season. But until then, we'll go through the admin of everything, and then I'll end the stream after this. Our recognition to Russell is still 46%, 54, but it is creeping up. We didn't complete the manufacturing expert though, so we lose 150 points from that.
Seems as if you have a new rival. This is the perfect opportunity to show the world why you belong in this sport, and to show me why you belong amongst my very exclusive clientele. That's a joke. I love working with you.
So we've got a secret meeting with Ferrari once again. So we're going to go to it and see what they have to offer, especially after that abysmal round in Canada. So then obviously you can see the comparisons here. Yet to score a podium this season, Ferrari, and we're now going into the 6th round. So in 5 rounds they haven't managed to score a podium whatsoever. Yuki Tsunoda hasn't finished above 10th place. Leclerc in P4 there, 5th in the actual championship, and 16th from Tsunoda. 6th in the constructors. Their development is 90% success rate, 63 upgrades applied, and the average time is 19 days. We're going to show the current team though. third in the Constructors, 99 points. Our best results are both podiums at China, first and third, for myself and Russell. He's 10th in the championship, we're second. You know, Russell's a less rating than what Leclerc is. Leclerc's on 94, he's 90, and he's still managed to score a podium. Our success rate then is 91%. We've got 5 more upgrades applied, and it only takes 18 days average time for a upgrade to come through. So it's a massive difference then. We're same on reliability, but everything else we're about 2 upgrades ahead of them, and then the 1 on aerodynamics. So we're gonna continue the talks anyway, because there still could be a regulation change going into next season, which could change everything around. So based on that is whether we'll go with Ferrari or not for next season. So we're going to continue the talks.
Been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well too. I know, I'm amazing. You're welcome.
So we can't actually buy any upgrades, we're not rich enough. It's the easy way to put it. We're going to do our goals. Of course, it's another sprint weekend as well. So it could be another mad weekend like China was. That's the only upgrade that we can afford really, and it will come in for Hungary, but if we rush it, it's only 25% failure chance. We could get it before Britain, but either way we'd get it before Hungary. So I reckon we're going to rush it, take the risk, try and get it in before Britain. And let's advance to Austria. So there's your weather forecast. We got a bit of rain at the end of full qualifying, but it doesn't look like it'll be too much. Sprint quali and the sprint is dry, and so is the main race. So even though Aston Martin have removed an upgrade, they've still managed to improve. So they've got obviously a major one in. We've flatlined into this weekend, we've not upgraded too much. Red Bull have caught up to VCarb and Aston now, so it's very close at the top 3 teams. McLaren's close to us. Ferrari have bought in an upgrade now for this weekend. Williams, they go from being the worst team in Canada on the grid to the 4th worst team. Then Sauber and Haas and Alpine, they're all very close to one another. going into Austria. We're going to do engine... No, we won't. We'll do it after practice. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you guys for joining. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. It might be later on actually. I can't lie. So yeah, I'll see you later.